All right, welcome back to another TFT Galaxy podcast. We're on episode 17, where we high press on the news and the tactics of the club we love, the LA Galaxy. Today we're covering Klauss and Thommy join the Galaxy. The 2026 white jersey has been leaked, and some general Galaxy news and discussion. I'm Eric.
I'm Chris.
How we doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of news.
We do.
We got a lot of news, not necessarily, one piece of good new news and one we were expecting. Let's just start again with a recap of where we're at right now. So we here's the schedule on your screen if you're watching, but our next game is a closed door scrimmage tomorrow. We're recording this Friday, January 30th. So January 31st, which is a Saturday at 11 a.m., the Galaxy are playing DC United in a closed-door scrimmage. Of course, we'll get news on that as we did the Portland game on January 23rd. So we could expect at least like written news, but possibly even some little highlights here or some videos or some leaks from people there and so on and so forth. And then February 4th, we play... You're going to have to help me again, Chris.
OCSC.
OCSC, thank you. On a closed-door scrimmage, February 4th, 11 a.m. And then CVI starts February 8th, 10 a.m. And then we play Chicago February 8th. We play St. Louis February 11th. And then closed-door February 13th against Real Salt Lake. And then we get started with Champions League and league begins and things get going fast. So we are nearing the moment where we can watch our Galaxy play games.
Yeah.
Very, very soon. February 8th. That is what? That's 9 days away?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, because that'll be a week
up.
from tomorrow. Well, actually, a week from Sunday.
I certainly hope they stream that because, like we talked about last week, that's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm not going... I don't even like American football, but I do like the food at the Super Bowl Sunday parties.
Yeah, but...
So that's where we're at. But last time we left off, we talked about the rumor of João Klauss from St. Louis joining, and we did get confirmation that João Klauss has been acquired by LA Galaxy. This is LA Galaxy official Instagram here, if you're watching. We have acquired forward João Klauss in cash for player trade from St. Louis City SC in exchange for $2.3 million. Klauss is under contract with the club through the 2026 season. So we got ourselves our forward. Whether you agree with it or not, he's going to be our forward, right?
Yeah.
You're not paying $2.3 million to St. Louis and his contract, which I think is like 1.3. It's a little 1.5, somewhere around there. So you're talking about what, like almost $4 million.
Yeah, he's not going to sit on the bench.
He's not going to sit on the bench, no. So this is the guy I guess they wanted. We talked briefly about he checked some boxes, right? Mm-hmm. I went into detail with you last week about some things that Vanny said last year in terms of we couldn't hold the ball up top. I think he's looking for Klauss to be able to hold that ball up top. He's an aerial threat. He can help on set pieces. You know, Not bad. I mean, now that it's official and you've had a week for it to sit a little bit since the rumors kind of started, where are you at on this?
Well, it allows the Galaxy to play a few different ways. I mean, with Vanny obviously wanting a ball-playing forward, back to goal, ball at his feet, being able to hold off guys and everything. It's good. It's good because he can definitely do it. He is the big presence. He's also a big presence in terms of getting crosses into a box, like you said, aerial threat.
So last year, 2025, St. Louis, 10 goals, 2 assists. The year before that, 5 goals, 3 assists. And the year before that, 10 goals, 2 assists. So, he's got 20 goals in the last 3 years and some assists in there. So, but I mean, 10 goals and 2 assists last year wasn't bad, especially for a team that took 25th in the single table, that is.
Yeah.
If you look at the supporter shield. So they didn't have a great year, and he scored 10 goals and had 2 assists. So not shabby. I mean, that puts him, like we talked about last week, that puts him right along with Paintsel in terms of goals scored.
Yeah, in terms of goal contributions, he would have had second on the Galaxy last year.
On a bad team too,
yeah.
right?
And,
well,
and
not I guess not. We can't call them bad. They had a bad year, right?
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Well, and it's not like St. Louis was ripping the cover off the ball either. I mean, they were only a couple places higher than we were last year. So it'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see how Vanny wants to play with him now. If he wants to keep doing what he's been doing, if he wants to potentially change it up. But now my thing is there's not a lot of variety up top. And we talked about this a little bit last week. If you have to go from Klauss to Christian Ramirez, it's the same style player. It's not until you bring on Nascimento, or even if you throw Paintsel in there, that where you get a different dynamic.
Which I imagine that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We're probably going to go from Klauss to Nascimento. I don't imagine, like we talked about last week, I think this spells third string for Ramirez, and maybe the Galaxy are even looking to move him. I didn't know this, but it's in our show notes here, so let me just go back to our show notes. I don't know if you saw, someone left a comment. It was our good friend on our channel, Fan FCSD. After it was revealed, we tried to loan Minnesota Ramirez at the end of the season. I assume he's gone. I didn't know that. So then I looked it up, and this is typical MLS, right? Crazy roster restrictions and rules. So this is from Tom Bogart. In the summer of last year, the Galaxy tried to loan Christian Ramirez back to Minnesota, but because of league mechanisms, he's too old. You have to be like under 25 to be loaned. That has since been changed.
Okay.
So now you can loan players of any age to any teams in MLS. So if the Galaxy wanted to, and if Minnesota was still interested,
okay,
then we could loan him back to Minnesota, which is where he came from, right?
Okay.
So this just adds weights to the fact that Vanny did not rate him.
No. But
even in the worst season, having no forwards, basically, he was looking to offload him even then.
Yeah.
So if I'm Christian Ramirez, I don't know. And it's funny because Christian Ramirez just posted on Instagram pictures of him working out for Galaxy and stuff. So, but I don't see Christian Ramirez getting much time this year. I mean, stranger things have happened. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things again that whole 50% of games, if that is an actual true stat for Nascimento, then
So the rumor was Nascimento's loan, if he plays more than 50% of the games, that there's an automatic buy that triggers for like $6 million. Now that we don't know if that's confirmed. We know that's not confirmed. There's no confirmation on that, and we don't know what that meant either. Was that start in 50% of the games? Was that come on in 50% of the games? Was that 50% of the total minutes?
Yeah,
we don't know. But what is weird too, there's something, the Galaxy are still working something here, because so we know Vanny doesn't rate Christian Ramirez, and now we see this news from last year. Nascimento is only loaned through summer.
Really?
Is that not strange?
I didn't know that was.
He's only with the Galaxy officially right now till that World Cup break, which is 15 games.
Okay.
And then he's no longer loaned to the Galaxy. Now, whether the Galaxy are confident in extending that loan in summer, whether that's some agreement with Botafogo and Galaxy that's what it had to be now for financial reasons on Botafogo's end or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is weird that we have Christian Ramirez, who Vanny doesn't really rate. We have Klauss, who obviously they wanted. They went out and got him. And we have Nascimento for 15 games on loan, and then presumably his loan's up unless Galaxy announced some other new deal. So there's a lot of strange things happening in the forward position.
It's looking like my my prediction might be getting closer and closer to coming true.
What's your prediction?
Oh, of a Paintsville playing forward.
I don't think so.
You say that
Because I don't want to say I disagree with you. I just think Vanny disagrees with you.
and that's fine. But then do we want to get to the second?
Well, I was going to say one more thing concerning
Okay.
this.
So I'll hold off on this point.
What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, I don't know. Sure. I mean, okay. So we get Klauss,
Yeah.
and that's fine. And then Galaxy announced the next signing.
Well, here let's do this. Let's do this. More on the.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm going to forget again, and I'm older than you.
Yes, you are.
I was going to say, by signing Klauss as a third DP, that has now put the Galaxy into the 3 DP, 3 U22 like branch, like choose your own adventure of the MLS, right? Turn to page 22. You now
Choose your
sign
own
3
adventure.
DPs. So we were talking earlier, the Galaxy might sign a U22 center attacking mid or something. That's out now because that third DP came in. Galaxy could only have 3 U22s, and we already have 3 U22s. That would be Aude, Sanabria, and now Nascimento. So they have no more wiggle room in terms of getting a U22 for cheap. They have no DP slots available.
Well, at least now
None of
there's
that.
no wiggle room until the World Cup.
Well, yeah, a million things could happen at World Cup, right? Like,
Well, if,
Nascimento could be gone.
Yeah.
Klaus could be injured. Ramirez could be gone. There's a ton of things that
well,
could be happening.
obviously, Klaus injured or not, things like that. That doesn't mean he's going to lose his DP spot. But if Nascimento leaves, there's the possibility of opening up a U22 slot,
Which would be a big. You could get a pretty good player at a U22 because you can pay them a pretty good money.
Yeah, my thing is now I'll have to go and do some more research on João Klauss and actually see kind of how he scored his goals. Because in terms of the play, if he needs balls in the box, if he needs to be fed balls off of crosses and anything, that's not Vanny's MO. That's not the Galaxy
Not typically,
MO.
right?
No.
Not with the Galaxy, at least.
No. So I wonder if he can do more or if he actually has a little bit more to him than just, I'm a big guy, put balls in the box and I'm going to head him home or.
Well, Vanny does reference he has good feet, is I think the quote he says. So I think he rates him being able to move pretty well and do some things.
And that would be fantastic. Unless Vanny has something in his head that he's going to change how the Galaxy have been playing. Time will tell, and we won't be able to know until we actually see everybody step on the field.
What I will say is, and I don't have it here, but like we've done in the past, every time we get a player, it's always nice to go to like St. Louis's Instagram and see what they're saying. And again, they're not happy. Like, they're sad to see him go. And the thing I see a lot, I read a lot about him on their like Reddits and their Instagrams was, man, guy was such a nice guy, such a hard worker. He was just really well respected.
Great.
Which is good because I mean, the Galaxy have made a point of this in the past, right? Signing players that are just good guys as well, right? Good locker room. Everything that I've been reading about him from St. Louis fans is he is just like a great guy, a great locker room guy. And so that's good. I think that's good. I don't know if it helps you win games a whole lot.
That was going to be my
I
point.
know what you're thinking, right? Like Jose Mourinho said, nice guys don't win football matches. No. But just being a nice guy off the field and in the locker room is a lot different. Not necessarily the same as being a nice guy on the field. So if he could compete but also be a great locker room type guy, I think
it definitely
that's
helps.
Good.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I'm more interested to see how these goals are being scored, because knowing how Vanny likes to play and knowing the players we have and the player we're going to talk about in a little bit, they all follow the same the same archetype,
Well,
the same thing.
I also did look up because every time we sign a player now, because of our past and because of what just happened, I go, I wonder if he took PKs. He did not. So we didn't sign a PK taker in João Klauss, although he can't be worse than what we've already have.
No.
So that leads us to, I guess, the next bit of news, and we go out and we get João Klauss as a forward DP, and then we go out and we sign Eric Thommy. He spells his first name wrong, but that's okay. We go out and get Eric Thommy from formerly of Sporting Kansas City. He was a free agent.
Yeah, they didn't retain him.
So I don't think they even had a club option. I think that he was done. And what strikes me odd about this is we went over the MLS free agents, right? Like from all these great journalists, and here are the top 10 free agents. Here are 15 people your team can sign it. I never once saw Eric Thommy's name come up. And I wonder why, because if you look at, this is Galaxy's official Instagram here, if you're watching, it says we have signed free agent midfielder Eric Thommy to a guaranteed contract through June 2027 with a club option for the 27-28 MLS season. So we got him for two years, maybe 3. Yeah. 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons. It's a club option. And the comments from the Galaxy fans here are like, welcome, loving this, solid pick, great decision. This is, and if you go to Sporting Kansas City's page, and when them reacting to Eric Thommy signing for LA Galaxy, they are also pretty like, you know what it reminds me a lot of is the Surreal move. Surreal wasn't getting a whole lot of time or a whole lot of success at FC Dallas. We get him, and a lot of FC Dallas players are saying like, man, I'm sad to see him go because I really thought he was a good player. He just couldn't fit in here, or we couldn't find the time for him, or I saw a lot of the same things about Eric Thommy. A lot of good talk about what he did on the field, who he was as a player, but a lot also of like we just couldn't find the right fit for him. He just couldn't find a way into the team all the time.
Well, and so this was when we talked about, in our pre-show and everything. I told you I'd do the research on him and everything, and we were trying to figure out where he's going to potentially play, knowing that he's a winger, a wide guy. Could he potentially, would he do that? Would he play as a number 10 and everything? And looking through, I was just looking at games he's started, everything. He missed most of July and all of August with a hip injury.
Yeah, so
he was out injured. Not only with that, it was also both in the 2025 season and the 2024 season. He was missing games. So it's one of those things where it's like,
last year they have him down as missing 62 days, most of it with a hip injury.
Yes.
Most of it with a hip injury, and then he had a growing problem as well. That's last year.
Yeah, so I saw that big thing because after the July 4th game, he just kind of dropped off. He wasn't on the bench. He wasn't starting. It was one of those things. So did a little bit of research and realized that he was dealing with a hip injury.
So last year he played in 25 matches, started only 14 of those. Yeah. And played a total of 1,271 minutes. That's pretty low. If you look at the Galaxy have players in the early 3,000s. Fagundes is like 3,000 something. So he didn't play a whole lot of minutes. In the years past, you could see 2,300 minutes, 2,500 minutes. So he didn't play a whole lot last year. I think probably due to injury and then trying to get back into it in the team.
Yeah, because after that August, that August time frame that we saw up there, it was you'd start seeing him at least on the bench again. Sometimes not. I only think there was 2 games that he started after August. So it must have just been something.
Now, he did have 4 goals and 4 assists last year.
He did.
In very limited minutes.
He did. And looking at, seeing the goals that he did score and everything and all that, it's right along the same lines as the type of players we already have. He's an outside winger. he likes to come inside.
Yeah.
He's inverted and everything. So he's right.
So to me, it looked like he was fairly comfortable coming into the middle and playing as a center mid, even though he's outside mid. And I did notice much more frequently than Peck and Paintsel do is he came back. He came back, and he was a pretty good long passer and short. I mean, he had some pretty good long passes, and he was a great passer. So I think even though he plays the same position, I do think he's a little bit different. He's not a speedster, and he was looking to come back in and get involved a little bit more. Having said that, he also made darting runs trying to get in behind several times too. So to be honest, it was 15 minutes. But to be honest, I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sat and watched him. I was quite impressed with his movement. I was quite impressed with his touch, his passing ability, and I chose that game because he scored. He scored in like the 55th minute or something, and his goal was a good goal too. And I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the captain's armband in that. So again, I like this for a lot of reasons after watching this. I think he's versatile. I think he can fit in for Peck or Paintsel, and they had injury concerns last year, and he's a more mature player. I do think the Galaxy are looking at him to give Royce cover at the 10. I do think that, even though he hasn't played a center mid position for Kansas City this year or last year, I do think they're looking at him at the 10 position as well. And I like that he's bringing like leadership, right? He was the Kansas City captain. So he's a good guy. He's a hard worker. He's someone who can lift a team and be a coach out there. So this year, this is what I like. I'm really liking this more and more. We go get Thommy. He's a captain of Kansas City. We get Glesnes, who is the captain of Philadelphia. Not really. Bedoya is, but Bedoya is getting older and he's out a lot. And Glesnes took over from that. Klauss is a big person, like a big personality, right? Like the way he plays, he kind of plays like a big person. And I'm not too sure about Hack's leadership, and we've talked about that in the past. But going out and getting two former captains of former teams and big old Klauss up there, I don't know. I think I'm liking this more and more in terms of maturity, which I think we talked about this past. Where was the fight last year? Where were we? And when you start bringing captains in and leaders from other teams, I think it's a pretty conscious effort on Galaxy's part to go get people to raise the team's competitiveness and fight on the field. So I do like that. And like I said, in the 15 minutes I watched, I was really impressed with his long passing ability, his dribbling ability. He seemed quite versatile. He came back often, but he also got over making darting runs from outside mid. And he wasn't making runs to the channel. He was making runs right through into like behind in the middle. So he seems comfortable in the middle. I don't know. I like it. He was a TAM player for Kansas City, which means he was one of their highest paid players. Okay. So this is a guy that people were high on with Kansas City originally. And so I don't think we're grabbing him to be some like role player. I think he's coming in. I think they're getting him to cover for Royce and maybe at that outside mid position.
It'll be interesting
to see. But who knows, right? It's just another question.
Yeah.
We don't know where Hack's going to play. We don't know what that center back pairing is going to look like. Now we don't know what they're thinking for Thommy. We don't know what's going on with Ramirez. There's a lot of questions coming into this season.
Yeah.
Which quite frankly are good because the season we had last year, I'm glad we're not coming in with the answers like, well, we got this and this and this, and that's how we're going forward. So I like that there's these questions because last year just wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the lineup looks when we're talking about competitive games. Again, you and I can speculate, and we from everything that we've watched and everything that we talk about, we have a good idea of what can happen, but again, we're not running the team. So
we are not running the team. But let's say you were.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. I mean,
well, here's the question, because we said we have a wager on we talked a couple episodes ago. We talked about a wager when we stepped on at Coachella.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, now a lot of this stuff just completely kind of throws that out the window.
Well, I mean, there's no way he's going to be starting ahead of Peck and Paintsel, right? At
Right.
least initially. If one of those guys is struggling, maybe if Peck has another downer type year, I could see him maybe sitting Peck to put a fire under him a little bit, maybe wake him up a little bit. I could see that. But
So
at
now-
least initially, I don't see that, which means there's only one spot for him, right?
Yeah. Well, so that was my question. So obviously, Peck and Paintsel, your two DPs, are going to play on the wings.
And you have cover, right? You have Cuevas that can cover them. You have Harbor Miller that can cover them.
Yeah.
There's only one guy that we've been talking about that has no cover right now,
Yeah, and that's
Royce.
right. So then, does Marco Royce get the start ahead of say the number 10 is where they think for him? Does Marco Royce get the start over him?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, but I think, I mean, with the grain of salt, right? I mean, I think, like we said before, and I think
And you think
Royce is mature enough to understand this. Like,
and you think it's because he's
this
been in the team longer.
this is Royce. Goals plus assists per 90 last year, 0.79.
Okay.
I think this is Cuevas is in second place with 0.57, and so now you see why everyone's such a Cuevas fan. And then third is Paintsel. So Cuevas is ahead of our goal scoring, inverted winger, Paintsel. This at 0.49 is Ramirez, 0.39 is Nascimento, and 0.33 is Peck. So look at the performance of Royce in goals and assists per 90 compared to the rest of the squad. So I think if Royce is healthy and available,
He plays.
he plays.
Okay.
But that being said, you have to manage his minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because he's older. So in that sense, I think Tommy's going to get plenty of time at the 10.
Okay.
I think there will be times where Peck and Paintsel need a break. One of those guys usually subs out at the end of games.
Yeah.
Because they've had a tough game and they've put a lot of minutes in. And there's a lot of games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that are going to happen between if we are successful in Champions Cup, which we have a pretty good draw, then we're going to have those midweek games too, and they need cover. And I think it's great to have. We have a center back problem. Well, we don't. Vanny has a center back problem, but that provides cover.
Yes,
right?
It does.
And you could say now we might even have a forward problem, but that provides cover.
Mm-hmm.
And we do, I think, have a little bit problems at outside back. Who's going to play right and left back? We've gone round and round about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's options there that provides cover. Please get Cuevas on the field. Well, wherever he plays or whoever minutes he's taking from, that provides cover, right?
Yeah.
And I think now Thommy provides cover at that 10 position. I think it's good. I think it's. I don't think Thommy is not going to get minutes. I just don't know if he's going to start.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him starting as an 8. I don't see Royce and him on the field at the same time. So,
not unless, at least not in that not in the central midfield.
No.
I would see them playing together if either something happens to one of the two wingers, or like you said, a lot of games stacking up.
Well, he's not a great defender. To be fair, like I said, I've only watched 50 minutes, but he wasn't being asked to defend a whole lot in Kansas City, and that might just be their system and his role. Maybe he's okay defending. Maybe he could be an 8, but usually don't throw 8s on outside as like inverted wingers.
No.
I mean, those are usually attacking players. He seems like he's an attacking player.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like it. I mean, if you would have said coming into this season that we have the lineup we have right now, I think I would have called. I would have said you're crazy. So we got Glesnes, Hack, Klauss, and Thommy. I would have said like, no way. There's just no way we could have pulled that off. And I again, a thing I think is underrated that I really like about this is it's MLS talent, so it's proven. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right? These guys know the league. They know the travel. They know the stadiums. They know the other teams. They know the mechanisms. They know the culture. You know what you're getting right out of the gate, and you get them.
Yes.
Like they fly over to LA and here they are. There's no like, well, I got to get a visa now, and all the crap that's happening with visas and, you know, the line to get a visa now and get approved and all that. Nope, they're here. They're done. It's good. They're in camp. And I think that's great. So,
yeah, you know what? Like a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, I'm just ready for games to happen so that we can talk about what's happening on the field rather than
I'm getting excited though. I'm getting excited. It's good that every week we have a new player or something and something new happening. So I'm getting excited. It's percolating all the ideas and what's going to happen and what's going on. Yeah. And I have a question. I have two questions for you. Okay. We're going to do in a second. But first, the kit has been leaked, the white kit, which is the kit they're going to wear probably at home most of the time. What do you think?
Very reminiscent to the same kit that Zlatan wore in his debut season.
Yeah, the sash is back.
Yeah.
It looks good. I like it. I do like it.
It's clean. I
didn't, of course, I'm not the person to ask because as my friends know, I really love ugly jerseys. And in the past, when I had to choose a jerseys for teams we coached, I chose some ugly jerseys, but I love them. So
oh my God.
I think the white kit last year, the Angelino kit that we wore was too plain.
Not enough blue.
Yeah, it's just white. And so I like the addition of some color. I like the sash. So I will definitely be picking up one of these. I think it's good. And then the question is, whose name do I get on the back? Because I have no idea who the hell's playing anywhere. So,
well, guess what? If you don't get a name on the back, then it never goes out of style.
Yeah, I know, but I like names on the back, man. I like to put a name on the back, you know? So I don't know. But there it is. If you're watching, you get to see it. If you're listening, just trust us. It's a white jersey with a sash.
Yeah.
And the 6 stars are now, I like the star formation much better than that one gold star.
You know what? So there actually is a reason that happened. So it's because the reigning MLS Cup champion gets to put the most recent star above everything else
in gold.
And then the next year everything because
so it just looked a little weird because it was our 6th and it was kind of like a weird balancing thing. But now when we do it again this year, 3 on either side with the star up top, that'll look just fine.
That'll look really good. Yeah,
that'll look real good.
Yeah, because I was looking at it and they were talking about it when Columbus won their 3rd, and it was the 2 on the bottom with the 1 up top, and then they said, "Oh, why did it switch?" And then someone explained the whole thing. It was really cool. But now I do have to say, are you are a fan of the sash across just jerseys in general, not just this one, but are you a fan of a sash on a kit?
To be 100% honest with you, I would like this way uglier. But I'm a fan of the old Czech jersey where it was like 4 squares and like 2 were red and 2 were white, or like checker jerseys, or hoops,
like the Croatia, the Croatian jersey. See, but that's the Croatian flag. Like that's just that's iconic to them. Okay. I don't think that's ugly personally. I love that jersey.
I like a lot going on. I just don't like, what I don't like a little bit is the simplicity of a lot of the jerseys in MLS. So when you turn on a game in MLS, there sometimes seems to be like a lack of character or personality on the field when you flip from channel to channel and there's a white team and a red team and a white team and a red team and a white team and a blue team and a white team so I don't like the fact everyone has like this white jersey. Like why? Like Arsenal has a red and like a yellow years
why? Because right now United have their red and then they're black,
right?
And
they usually have a third, sure, and maybe they have a third lighter color one for certain reasons when the
or like
the colors
and
clash or something.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll have that lighter one, like United did, like pale pink a couple years ago. But
like the Norwiches and the Blackpools and like
great.
the oranges and like the even right now Colorado's talking about going through a rebranding. They got those Villa West Ham colors,
the claret and blue,
and I love those because it adds personality. They're going to rebrand. They're talking about rebranding. They're going to go white or red or blue, and be a standard color again. And I like when you turn the channels on EPL or the German league that you're seeing like bright greens and bright oranges. And you're not seeing white against blue, white against red. I don't understand why we all have to have a white jersey. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would love to see a return to like, the yellow jersey that the Galaxy used to wear at home.
When Carlos Ruiz.
Yes.
The Carlos Ruiz yellow.
What's wrong with like this jersey in all yellow with some like blue?
Yeah.
Like
I would be totally down for it because and then when you show up, no matter what jersey Galaxy are wearing, they're wearing color.
Yeah.
Right? They're wearing a yellow, or they're wearing the Rising kit with that, purplish blue, or they're wearing like a throwback black, from the old school.
Yeah.
It's always a color.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of a sashed jersey.
Yeah. Oh, really? I don't mind it. I'm not the hugest fan, but I do just like that it adds more color and it looks a little bit more interesting than just wearing white.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we wore this last 2 years is a full white jersey.
Yeah. Pretty much, and it's just
yeah.
But
all right, let's move on. I got.
You had questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
2 questions. That I just want you to kind of think about and see what your response is going to be. The first one is, and I just came up with these names: bounce back player of the year. So here's 4 players I think didn't have great years for the Galaxy. Peck, Yoshida, Yamane, and Ramirez.
Okay.
Out of those 4. Do you think any one of them is going to turn it around and have an amazing year? And if so, which one or ones?
I can tell you who automatically off the bat it's not going to be.
Who do you think it's not going to be?
It's not going to be Maya Yoshida.
Okay, so this is interesting. I knew you were going to say that. And I think I would agree with you. But I was listening to Corner of the Galaxy, another great podcast, and they talked to Yoshida. And Yoshida seems to be of the mindset that I have not lost my spot yet, and he is working harder than ever to keep his spot. So I don't think Maya is of the same mind. And I'm not to say that matters at all, but in Maya's mind it certainly can. And you have certainly seen players who have a bad year and go, that can't happen again, and pick it up and turn it around. But
definitely.
My point is, Yoshida doesn't see himself as being sunsetted. He's going to fight for a center back position. So whether you can say you don't think he's going to do it, but I just wanted to bring to your attention, he's going to try to do it.
And fantastic. Is he going to have as bad of a year as he did last year? Probably not. So in that sense, he'll bounce back.
But will he play significant minutes to be considered like, wow, what a great year Yoshida had?
That's my thing, is I don't think he'll have enough time he'll get enough time to show a true, like, full season bounce back.
Okay.
I think in the cameos he gets, maybe the games that he gets because of squad rotation and everything, he shows that it's definitely better than it was last year. Which would be great.
Out of all these, I think 3 of these guys had years where they look back and go, that can't happen again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Peck looks back last year and goes, I didn't have a great year.
That would be absolutely.
I think Yoshida looks back and goes, wow, what a bad year I had.
Uh-huh.
And I think Ramirez looks back and goes, I really got to pick up what I'm doing on the field because I had such a bad year, they wouldn't even play me when I got healthy again.
Yeah.
I think the only one on this list that is kind of could say like, well, I didn't play too bad is Yamane, but I wasn't.
And even then, even then, as the year went on, I think we both could look at it and go,
I don't think he had a great year at all. I think he had a terrible year.
Yeah, and I think if we were both in Greg Vanny's spot, I think we would have done the same thing and played other players over him.
For sure, especially when the season was done and Yamane wasn't having a great year. I would have done the same thing with Yoshida.
Yeah.
Season was done.
In terms of stats wise, relative to what they have done in the past, whether it's recent or not as recent, Gabriel Peck and Christian Ramirez have they have the biggest opportunities because obviously, being attackers, they actually have stuff where it's like, look, I'm putting goals in, my goal production was down, my assist numbers were down, and you can actually see that on the score sheet. Maya Yoshida has an opportunity. Yamane, that's a very difficult one because, you can look and say, oh, my attacking numbers were the same and everything, but it's also like for defenders, especially outside defenders that aren't maybe, as attack minded, a lot of that stuff just kind of goes unnoticed because you'll very rarely see them pop up on a score sheet, but when you watch,
Right.
So, I think if I was going to rank these guys for who would be considered bounce back player of the year.
Let's go. Don't rank them.
Okay.
I want you to tell me, who do you think is going to bounce back?
I think
it don't have to be one. It could be all four. But out of this group of four, do you think who is going to bounce back and have a good year in a Galaxy jersey?
I think Gabriel Peck, because he's also potentially playing for his spot where he's heard so many times about, oh, he could potentially be like go. If he doesn't want, if he loves it, right? If he's liking it, he's playing to basically say, don't sell me.
Okay. I think I agree with you, right? Peck has the best chance to have a bounce back here just because of his skill and he had a down year. What would you tell Peck? If you can meet with Peck as like an advisor and a trusted, you're in his inner circle, what would you tell Peck he needs to do this year? Because I have ideas.
My big thing is at the beginning of, especially because at the beginning of last year, it almost looked like at times he was going to be the one that's going to be like, oh, give me the ball. I'm going to do what Ricky did. It's like, dude, that's not your game. Just go back to just
simplify.
Yeah. Just don't do too much. Get the ball, take a guy on and either cut it to the end line and put a cross in or cut inside and have a shot.
Okay.
Awesome. Done.
Yeah. I think simplify, especially when you're playing bad, is a good step. But last year, I don't know if he had the option all the time because we were so bad. He was probably trying to help as much as he could, which I do respect, but it doesn't often work out, right? When you're trying to overplay and do things.
And some players where you start adding more responsibility or you start, they start taking on more. Sometimes it works. With someone like this, it's just like you were the best when you were doing one of two things. I'll say one of three things even. And, cutting inside to his left foot, getting the end line and putting a ball across, or making runs in behind to potentially go 1v1 with the keeper. Those three.
Okay.
Those three. Done.
I would tell him, I think I agree with that. I think that would be part of what I would say. But I would also include, and this is my biggest problem with Peck, is body language and just he had 11 yellow cards last year.
Oh, wow.
11 yellow in
That's
MLS.
2 suspensions.
And what were his yellow cards for?
I would imagine there's like
dissension. 9. It would have surprised me if all 11 were for dissension. I would tell Peck again. I would never tell Peck this because he's better. But let's just assume he's a player of mine. I would tell Peck, shut up and play the game. And fix your body language. Stop complaining about every little thing. Put your head down. Humble yourself a little bit. Play simpler. And play the game.
You could start doing? Anytime he gets a yellow for dissent, just find him.
Yeah, because like when you're getting 11 yellow cards for dissent, it's
Find 'em.
it's kind of petulant, right? Like at one after the other, you're like, dude, okay, come on, like you gotta, okay, we get it. Yeah, the ref made a bad call, right? But get on with it.
Yeah.
Like you're a professional, and I think, and we've seen this too. We might even be seeing this currently with teams we follow and are involved with or not involved with. But when teams start complaining about the refereeing and everything that's happening on the field, and every time something mistake, or every time this player mispasses the ball to me, and I just gotta shake my head, it really like filters into the team, and it's not a positive thing, right?
No.
So I would tell them all those things, especially I would say play simple, but I would also just be quiet, man. Just put your head down, learn to play the game without complaining, stop talking to the referees, and let's get this back on track. I mean, that's what I would tell them.
I'd tell him through finding him.
Yoshida, I'm with you. I just don't see him. I don't see him getting much time. But we'll see. I mean, it depends. If we see if the Galaxy see Hack as more of a pivot than a center back, all of a sudden he's now the third, and the third center back can easily jump one of the other two if they're playing well.
Yeah.
Yamane, I don't know. I could see it too, but I don't have a lot of confidence in Yamane right now. He didn't play bad, but he didn't play great, and I think he's just. I think we're gonna get pretty much the same thing. And Ramirez, I don't know if Ramirez is gonna get a chance, but if he does, man, he better be hungry, because if I'm Ramirez and I get that chance, I am gonna do everything I possibly can, right?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit dangerous, like we just talked about as an attacker. I mean, if he tries to do too much with his chance, but he's got to take advantage of it in some way, right? And I think one of the ways we know is hold the ball, man.
Yeah.
You're huge. He's bigger. He's taller than Klauss. Hold the ball.
Yeah.
Like, be able to play with your back to goal and prove to Vanny he can put you in at those times.
Yeah.
And that's what I would tell Ramirez. Not that anyone cares what I say. I have good ideas, but, I don't know.
No one has called us for our ideas yet.
I mean, obviously, these players don't need to hear from us particularly, and then I have this. And I left Cuevas off of all these because we would just choose Cuevas, and I know you would, so I just left him off. So my next question is breakout player of the year. So these are players that haven't really broken into the team and had like star years yet. So my list is which of these players is going to break out? We have Elijah Winder, Lucas Snabria, Nascimento, Mitrovic, Garces, Harbor Miller, and Aude. This list is tougher because I could see several of these guys. So let's try to put this in an order at least first. Which one of these guys do you think will have the biggest year in a Galaxy uniform?
This is a tough one because two of these guys, Nascimento and Snabria, were hurt and kind of didn't get the time that they, at least I'm sure we thought. Elijah Winder had a really good end of the year.
Yes, he did.
And looking at that,
so when I look at Winder is a possibility in my mind, right? But when I look at Winder, I'm comparing him to Sanabria because they're both center mids, different types of center mids. But I'm thinking which one of those two is more likely to break out. Let's start there. Between Winder and Sanabria, which one of those two do you think is more likely to have a breakout year?
I'm inclined to say Winder because we've actually seen it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know. It's tough. I'm with you, right? Winder, we have a little bit of proof that it's there, maybe. But the Galaxy is so high on Sanabria, and they've got to be high on Sanabria for a reason, right? They see what we don't. They see all these training sessions. They see the skill behind the scenes, and they're very high on Sanabria.
You and I both have been around the game for a while, and we've had teams we've coached that that people look at certain players that we have, and they're like, "Really, you're high on so and so?" And we're like, "Yeah." It's like, really?
Or,
it's like, yes, but you don't see it.
Well, not only that, sometimes you play a player, and everyone's like, "Why are you playing him?" And you're like, "Can you not see?" Like what this guy is doing? Yeah, he's not dribbling, but he's doing so much of the dirty work and helping the team in such amazing ways.
One of the very first games I coached. I played a player because I had just had a hunch and he ended up scoring the winner. So
yeah.
sometimes you look like a genius.
Right. So that's where I'm at with Sanabria, right? I haven't seen it with Sanabria, but the fact that they speak so highly of him, by the way, Will Kuntz is mentioned.
Yeah.
He expects Sanabria to have kind of like a breakout year. So he sees something in him, and he's obviously has more information than we have.
Yeah, but I think out of those two, I think just because, again, like I said with Yamane, and Sanabria plays more of a position that just goes so unnoticed.
Yeah,
and
sure.
He may pop up here and there on a score sheet and everything. Elijah Winder showed that he can show up on a score sheet and he can do a lot of different things.
A little bit flashier in terms of the final product.
Yeah, and again, we just saw it more, but Sanabria, you may not see it on a highlight reel. You may not see it, but when you watch it, you know that
I imagine they're looking at Sanabria box to box, right?
Yeah,
box to box.
Yeah,
doing everything.
Casario would play more of the holding, more of the deep lying thing. Sanabria would kind of be that box to box to connect him and whoever is playing a 10 and everything.
The only thing that worries me about choosing Winder now is Tommy's addition to the LA Galaxy.
My thing is, though,
does that lower Winder's minutes?
No, because I think Winder and Sanabria will be fighting for minutes.
Okay.
And the signing of Justin Hack may, depending on how Vanny wants to use them, may actually diminish both of their minutes, depending on how it's going to be used.
Sure.
Don't know yet.
So we haven't answered the question. So it sounds like you're going. You would say Winder is
out of those two, Elijah Winder.
Okay.
Because I know what he can do, and he's already shown it.
Man, I don't know. You know, I'm such a terrible person. I want to choose Sanabria just to be at odds with you because I'm 50-50.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna. That way, there's a winner. I'm taking Sanabria. Okay. One of us will win. But I am totally 50-50. I think it's very close between those two. And the reason why I'm kind of uncomfortable choosing between Winder and Sanabria because it's not really our choice, right? I think whoever breaks out is going to be – I think they both could, and I think it's going to be whoever Greg Vanny trusts to give more minutes to.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the bigger chance is going to – I think both these guys are going to take advantage of whatever chance they're given. I really do.
I sure hope so. And look, in something like this, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong and Sanabria breaks out, okay.
Well, I hope they all break out.
Yeah.
What about? I'm going to skip Nascimento for now because we got Klauss. So I was kind of thinking, okay, let's. How many goals is Nascimento going to score? It's kind of a moot point because we don't know how many minutes he's going to play, and so I don't know. I'm going to skip over Mitrovic for a second to Garces. Let's sit on Garces for a minute here. I don't know. Is he going to mature? I guess is he going to break out and mature, or is he going to be the same Garces?
I was just about to say that we've already seen him kind of break out. We've seen
his athleticism has definitely broken out.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
But is his soccer mind and his maturity is the next step, right, for Garces, right? That's what I'm sure people should be telling him, right? Like, you have all the physical qualities to be elite, right? I mean, completely elite physical qualities. Can he figure out the things he's not good at? Can he figure out to be a little bit more mature? Can he figure out the organizational side? Maybe even get better in the air as a center back? Can he do those to be an absolute center back stud?
And I really do think he can.
But will he? If you were to bet this year, does Garces so for me, Garces' breakout year would mean Yoshida doesn't play a minute. Right? Garces has such a good year, you can't even take him off, right? Yoshida just has to watch the game because Garces is not coming out. And I don't think Glesnes is coming out very often.
No, I could definitely see that. I have a very interesting take about Garces being the breakout guy, and also not coming off, but not a lack of maturity. I think Vanny could say just like, hey, listen to say he and Glesnes get paired together. Hey, listen to him. Let him direct you.
We don't know. We don't know.
No, but with just how athletic he is,
Yeah,
and
for
what he
sure.
can do, you just tell.
And you know what? Like behind the scenes footage and pictures, it looks like Garces it looks like he's a nice guy, right? He's always looks like he's smiling, having fun.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's an attitude problem.
No,
I just think the game starts and he's like a Doberman pinscher on a walk. Like he's just pulling that leash the whole time. And so the question is, can he learn to rail that in a little bit and know?
And you know what? And this may be because of who he's paired with. If you just tell him, Glesnes is going to direct you. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's going to
and in this setup too. Maybe Hack's at the 6, who can also direct you and say, "Hey, what are you doing up in my space here? Like, sit back a little bit, or make this challenge next time."
Yeah, and say he's, I mean, back four of Cuevas, Glesnes, Garces, Nelson, right to left. Well, if you tell John Nelson, just be like, "Hey, you're a stay-at-home defender. Glesnes is obviously going to be that anchor." And then for certain things, it's just you just kind of let Garces be a little bit of a wild card. It's like, hey, just go be athletic.
My only problem with Garces is vacating the middle on challenges sometimes, which then leaves you very susceptible for the ball over the top or through, right? Because you're counting on Garces to chase those down. Glesnes is not a speedster. Yoshida last year is not a speedster. And when Garces gets pulled out and makes a bad decision, I guess, is what you could call it. I mean, it's easy to see on replays. I know it's much harder in live game to make that decision, but when he gets pulled out to make a challenge 10 yards higher than his line, and the guy just takes one touch and passes it back to a pivot or something, the pivot puts it over the top, and now all of a sudden Garces is 10 yards off his line, and Yoshida's trying to chase down, Yaboa from Minnesota, who's like the Flash. I mean, there's nothing Yoshida can do. But if Garces is back there, Yaboa's going to have some pressure on him trying to score that goal. And I just feel like Garces needs to understand that when he leaves the middle to challenge, he has to do it smartly, and he has to be very, conservative in how often he's leaving the middle, because we are relying on him to chase down those.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think Glesnes and Hack, if I have been in the past critical of Yoshida's, I think, leadership and vocal abilities and organization on the field. And I think maybe that might get fixed with Glesnes and Hack, both talking to him.
Yeah, I think that him being a little bit of a wild card.
He's a wild card, man. I remember there was a game where he wasn't playing for whatever reason for a run of games. He fell out of favor. I don't know why. Oh, it was that long ball, and he donkey kicked it for a breakaway for the other team one game, and they had a breakaway, and everyone's blaming Garces, and whatever. But people make mistakes, whatever. And then he got sat for 3 games, and then we were at the Dignity Hill Sports Park, and I'm sitting there, and our subs are done. We used all 5 subs. And so Garces is over there warming up on the sideline still for no reason, right? Eventually he just sits on the billboard. And you could tell he was the furthest corner from me possible. And I could just feel his disappointment and animosity. And at one point the ball comes to him the slowest ball. It just rolls slowly out of the pitch, and it falls right with him sitting on the billboard things. And he just takes it and he kicks that ball so hard across the field. It was the most childish thing. It's like, bro, we're playing a professional game here, and your sub just kicked the ball 70 yards back across the field because it slowly rolled to him. He was so pissed.
Yeah.
And I get it, because, I mean, he was out of favor at that point. But again, a little maturity goes a long way in those situations. So I'm interested to see what Garces does. Does Harbor Miller get a chance this year? I mean, I see it's going to be tough, right? I mean, you got Peck Paintsel.
Well, and with the new signing.
You got Aude Nelson. You got Yamane. You got Thommy now. You have Sanabria and Winder. You have all these guys that also want minutes. Does Harbor Miller get a shot this year?
I think you have to give him one.
You know what sucks is the loss of like Open Cup and stuff where we got a chance to play all these guys, and now that chance is everything's high stakes, right? Especially for the Galaxy. The Champions Cup is high stakes because it's lose and go home. MLS is high stakes right now for Galaxy because they cannot start the way they started or people are going to lose jobs. So all those games are high stakes. Mm-hmm. And I think Harbor Miller's in a tough spot because of that.
I think Harbor Miller, with what he learned last year in terms of what is required to be playing consistently, mixed with, I don't want to say a little bit of stupidity, but okay, and I'll explain why I say that. Because us having seen European and English soccer for God knows how long, I always, like, being a United guy, I always go back to Marcus Rashford having scored on his debuts in every competition he played against. But you look at a player like that, and it's like, oh, this 18-year-old, right? Or a young kid, it's like, you look and you go, man, he's talented, but he's also a little naive.
Yeah.
He's also a little dumb because it's just like,
I mean, inexperience, and I agree with you.
And I think Harbor Miller is still at that age where he's just like, he knows what it's like to be in it. He knows what it's like to play well in it. He knows what it's like to be pulled out of it when he's playing well and not put back in. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, number one, you could see him maybe having the bit between his teeth of going, I'm going to take on all comers, and he's got the youth on his side. He's talented. He's a little bit still on the naive side.
For sure.
And I really think that combination, just given a little bit of time, and
do you think that? But here's my concern for Miller, and I think this is the way it's going to work out. Greg Vanney is coaching for his job.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, 1,000%.
So you have to know Harbor Miller is of the experience level where he is going to make mistakes on the field. Mm-hmm. He's got to learn and get better and make mistakes. And I don't think Greg Vanney's going to be okay with that with his job on the line. I think he's going to turn to Thommy and Sanabria.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably even worried a little bit about Cuevas because we know Cuevas will make some mistakes too because he has not put together a season where he's played a ton of minutes. And those guys are going to make mistakes, and they have to learn from them. I'm just worried that both a Miller especially, but I think Cuevas too, might not get the minutes that maybe they deserve because Vanney's on the hot seat, and he has to turn to people who are going to be consistent and not make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I don't see Miller breaking out next year. I think he's got to wait a year, and hopefully he does. Mm-hmm. This has got to be the year for Audi, I think. I don't know if it happens. I'm just saying this is a big year for Audi, right? I mean, he has to do something. We're paying him a ton of money. He's making like $1.2 million or something.
The problem is he comes on and it's the same. Like, he's been playing for, this is going on what, year 3, 4?
4th year, I think, right?
Okay. Every time he's come on, it's just the same stuff.
He makes mistakes too.
He makes the same mistakes.
I do think he has definitely gotten better over the years, more consistent, but he's a little mistake prone on the defensive side of things.
He frustrates the hell out of me.
Really? I mean, I think we disagree about him a little bit. I really like him.
Frustrates the hell out of me.
But he has to put together something, and I don't know if he is. Again, I don't know if he's going to be given even if a fair shot. I don't want to say fair or unfair. What he would consider a fair shot, because again, I think Vanney goes with Nelson just because of the consistency, and we got to get wins in the beginning of the year. We got to put something together, and Vanney's going to be on the hot seat if he doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm telling you, we lose that first game, and then if we lose 2 or 3 in a row, Vanney's going to find himself in the hot seat very, 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 very fast.
Well, he's already in the hot seat. The temperature is just going to get turned up to astronomical levels.
Right. And that's not
if
that's
it's
not
not a
good.
good start.
If that's what happens, I mean, the team could just, I mean, they could rise to it, of course, but it puts a lot of pressure on the team to be in those situations.
Yeah.
Trying to, there's a lot of pressure on the Galaxy this year at the beginning of the season, and I think some of these guys don't get a chance because they're going to go with the standard guys and try to get that experience on the field, and hopefully it makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And Will Kuntz kind of would have no option but to go find another coach because
then the stands would be crazy, man. There'd be protests and banners and all kinds of stuff. Which
it's with the team that with this upgraded roster,
right?
Okay, there's no way
with the
there's no
amount of
reason.
Money and the retooling they've done.
No,
they have to put together a winning team because they've clearly spent resources and time trying to build this team. Right? A lot of players have come in, and if they get it wrong this time, people are going to start asking, well, maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's the front office. Maybe it's the coaching staff. So,
well, I wouldn't even say it's the front office. I would say because
I mean, Will Kuntz has got to be under some pressure if the team that he's put together now,
and that's fair. But Will Kuntz also didn't just sit on. He didn't just make a change, like one or two change. He went in and was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that my coach now has everything at his disposal.
Right.
They upgraded with guys that are definitely big helpers. But yeah, this is like front office went and said, hey, we spent money. We went and get it. Now, if Vanny can't coach this team, again, maybe it's not the players.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like I said before, I'm getting excited. A lot of new players, a lot of good possibilities, a lot of old players, young players who were looking at making, I don't know. There's just a lot of change this year and a lot to be excited about if you're a Galaxy fan with the new players and Winder and Sanabria maybe coming up and doing well. And we got the Cuevas thing and, let's hope it all works out. And we're back here in 6 weeks time sitting at like 3-0 or something. That'd be great.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. I think that's all we got, right? Do we have anything else? I do have, that's it. I mean, Colby Club's coming up. I was hoping that would come out before we film this. Because
that'll be interesting to
Colby
to
Jones
listen.
has Greg Vanny on next. And so I thought that'd be really cool to sit through and listen to Greg Vanny speak to Colby Jones. I don't know what the questions are going to be. So keep your eye out for that. And, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Any last things, Chris?
If there's anything you want us to talk about, leave a comment on YouTube. Email us.
Leave a comment, please. Yeah.
Review us.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to be a breakout player? Who do you think is going to have a great year, a turnaround year? Is Peck going to do it? Are you happy about these signings? What is your lineup?
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit.
So, I don't know. I guess that's it. We'll be here next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And have a good weekend and a good week. We'll see you later.
See you guys.